So far this school year, we've seen multiple threats to schools and lockdowns across Northeast Wisconsin. Something local law enforcement tells us it's happening all across the country.
NBC 26's Juliana Falk has been investigating how the threat of violence has changed our classrooms today.
Teachers and students, please excuse interruption.
This is only a drill.
There's a man in the building with a gun. He's fired it in the business office just now. So first of all, you all know where the business office is.
It's called a scenario-based drill.
So what are our options?
Notre Dame Academy administration sends out a message to all teachers and staff in the building with a made-up situation. Staff sends back a response of what they would do based on their location in the building, stirring up conversation with students about the best way to handle it.
Does everyone feel comfortable with the idea of going out the window?
Yes. Once the discussion is over and responses sent in, it's time to go back to learning while the principal, associate principal, and law enforcement comb through the feedback.
The students decided that we would shut ourselves inside the room because we don't know which way he ran.
Yeah, that makes sense too. There's so much unpredictable.
Or
I wonder though if that's the best thing to do, because then you're also sealing that off from anybody else trying to get out.
And that's true. Exactly.
Principal Patrick Brown says that for these students, practicing for an active shooter or other threat has become almost like practicing for a fire or tornado, something they do multiple times throughout the year.
The threat of violence, I believe, unfortunately, in some regards, the students are almost immune to it.
Elizabeth Rickards is a junior at Notre Dame Academy.
It's kind of sad to think that this is how our world is, that we actually have to prepare for a shooter or anybody that could be a threat to our school.
At the beginning of this school year, she and other students put their training into practice, going into lockdown after police say a 13-year-old boy, who Brown says was not a student at the high school, sent an email saying there would be a shooting at the school.
It kind of was all talking like that actually could have happened.
Lieutenant Keith Gearing with the Green Bay Police Department is in charge of the School Resource Officer program. He says threats are taken seriously and that some students might not realize the consequences of making a threat, which he says can result in a citation or felony charge. But it's not just those consequences.
We find that these kids don't realize the fear and panic that they create by posting something or saying something inappropriate.
Rickards says she's been doing drills since she was in second grade.
It definitely makes me feel safer to know what we can prepare to do, because some things are not going to be exactly like the situation or the simulation, but at least we have like a mindset of like what we can do or how we can prepare. It's really good and helpful.
Being ready for a day they hope they never see. In Green Bay, Juliana Falk, NBC 26.
Thank you, Juliana.